everyone and welcome back to Happening by Chance. My name is Mariana and today we are going to look at pretty Christmas decks. I feel like it's been ages since I filmed. It's probably been like a month or so, but in internet time it feels like a million years. But I'm finally back and this is my favorite season of the year. If you know me, you know that Christmas is just like my favorite thing in the world. So I had to film this video. Before I start with the Christmas decks, I just want to say thank you so much for the people who have been commenting on my Marseille videos. And I just wanted to tell you that I do already have the next video planned where I'm going to talk about interaction. I have it planned out. I even have some examples ready, but I just, as you have seen, I haven't been filming, right? And then December came up on me and I just really want to film this Christmas video. So hopefully during December I'll be able to film the next installment of my Marseille series. With that out of the way, let's just go ahead with the decks. I have a lot of decks. I feel like once I started choosing, I kept seeing others that were like, oh, this could be Christmas too. Oh, this could be Christmas too. So I have like straight up Christmassy decks, and then I have decks that feel like Christmas to me, that feel Christmassy to me. And I also, of course, have Marseille and historical decks. I feel like historical decks especially feel very Christmassy, especially like the older ones, the more... You will see. I'm going to start with one that I received a good while ago. I think it's been like a year since I received this deck. And I haven't used it because I was saving it for this season. It just feels incredibly Christmassy to me, and that is the Craft Felt Tarot. It's just so cozy. I feel like everyone knows this deck. It's very popular. I feel like a lot of people back this on Kickstarter, and a lot of people have shown this when, you know, when the deck actually released. But it feels like the craft, the cozy, the colors, I don't know, it's just very Christmassy. And I feel like because there is a specific Christmassy card, let me look for it. What should be at the end? I mean, but just even the non-Christmassy cards feel Christmas. Like, look at this. It's just, it's Christmas. Like, it's not... Yeah, it didn't feel right to use it because it just feels like Christmas. See, here, this is Christmas. It's Christmas dinner. And then you also have... Okay, here you have another one, but that's not the one I'm thinking about. I think it's literally going to be the last card. Oh, here, see, it was not the last, but like the, I don't know, second to last. How that one is also Christmas. So yeah, the Craft Felt Tarot. I haven't used it, waiting for Christmas to come. And just in case anyone hasn't seen, these are the backs. These things are also made out of felt. I'm currently reading a lot of Christmas romance novels. You know, the type that feel like Christmas Hallmark movies. I've actually never seen a Hallmark Christmas movie. But I know about them from, you know, people on the internet, and I know the tropes from watching rom-coms, from reading romance novels, Anyway, this deck feels like the vibes of this deck very much give contemporary romance, cozy, cutesy book, you know? I think that's the thing. This feels like something that a romance heroine from a cutesy, cheesy movie or book would use. Okay, then let's use one that is actually very Christmassy. I mean, this is not like it's not meant to be Christmassy, but to me it just screams Christmas. So this is part of my Catholic Christian, but I'm Catholic, so I call them Catholic, but you know, like Catholic / Christian tradition decks. I have a lot of them, and actually all of them are Christmas decks to me. So all of the decks in my Catholic Christian collection are Christmassy to me, and I use them during Christmas, and I mean I use them all year long, but they feel especially appropriate for Christmas. I'm not going to show you all of them because I want to do a Catholic deck collection video, and I have been wanting to do that since for a good while, but I thought December would be the perfect month to do it. So I don't know, maybe after this video I'll either do the next Marseille installment or my Christian Catholic collection. I was talking to who was I talking? Oh, I think I was talking with Carrie from Carrie. No, she changed her channel name, Trail Magic, something like that. And we were talking about how in Mexico, and I mean in other countries as well, but in Mexico, Christian and Catholic is different. Like, you're either Catholic or you're Christian. But if you're Christian, then you're not Catholic. Anyway, yeah, so they are all Christmassy, but I'm not going to show them all here, and this is part of that collection. So this one especially, I mean, with the gold, shiny gold, and the red, it feels very Christmassy. They go perfectly with my poinsettia cloth, embroidered cloth, and obviously like the Christian theme, right? The Catholic Christian theme, but then also the old, yeah, like the theme, the gold, the red, and the historical old style paintings. It just, everything screams Christmas to me about this deck. I used this deck last year for, I think it was last year, for Tarot Advent, which Marlene talked about in her video that she did, her Christmas video. I might use it again for that this year. I don't know. I might as well show you the other example I brought from my Catholic deck collection. I feel like I've shown this before in my channel. This one I've talked about how it's very nostalgic to me because it feels like very 90s cross-stitch mom. This aesthetic feels very like I would have had. I think I talked about it in my Da Vinci pairing collection video, where I talked about how this type of art would have been either used for like your first communion invitations, or like you would have an Angelito de mi Guarda image with this style in your childhood bedroom. But yeah, so this one I had fun using last year. I put like this one. I mean, if this is not Christmas, then I don't know what is. I put the box of this one out in the living room, And so my mom and I, we had fun pulling a card, like not every day, but like every day we remembered. I put several oracles there, and actually this is the one that we ended up pulling from the most. My mom was a 90s cross stitch mom. Actually, she still loves cross stitch, and so I feel like this type of art is also very nostalgic to her. So oh, and in the backs it has just quotes. And I feel like this is also very Christmas, and it has a lot of quotes from for like, you know, God and stuff. So like it feels very Christmas. I love this deck. This is one of my favorite oracles because I think because it's so nostalgic to me. And the Angelito de mi Guarda card. Marlene, in her video, she talked about how her dad, he would tell her, duerme con los angelitos, which means sleep with the angels. And here we say sueña con los angelitos, or que sueñes con los angelitos, which means dream of the angels. Yeah, so this one is very Christmas, very nostalgic, very cozy, and I just love it so much. But yeah, as I said, this is also part of my Catholic / Christian deck collection, but I will not show all of them. These were just the two that I had as an example. And then another oracle that I had out in the living room last year was the Seasons of the Witch Yule oracle. I actually was super excited when I bought this because I feel like this felt like the most Christmassy thing I had seen on these are the bags, everyone knows these things. I feel like there are many Christmas decks and not all of them feel Christmassy to me, but this one does. And so I was very excited to buy it. I know it's Yule, but for me it's Christmas, you know. And, you know, Christmas took a lot of traditions from pagan traditions, and it was a pagan holiday, you know. So, like, it's obviously like Yule gives off Christmas vibes because Christians stole a lot of traditions from the pagans. Anyway, so yeah, I was very excited when I bought it, but I actually like I almost never use it, and I wouldn't get rid of it just because it's so pretty. But for some reason, I never use it. I don't know. I don't know. There's something about it that I never actually use it. It doesn't actually resonate with me. I feel like the imagery is very pretty, but Christmas is such a personal holiday in the sense that I don't know, like with Halloween, for instance, I'm like Halloween wasn't really a thing in Mexico when I was growing up. I feel like nowadays it's a bit more because, you know, Hollywood and stuff. But when I was a girl, like, sure, we had like Halloween costumes in the shops and especially in the supermarket, and like, anyway, it's not very, it wasn't a thing. So for me, I can use any, if I have a Halloween deck, which I don't have a lot of them, but like if I want Halloween vibes, anything that looks with a US aesthetic feels Halloweeny because Halloweeny has always been US for me. But Christmas, I feel like here it's a very big deal. You know, we are a very Catholic country, and so I do need something that feels Christmas to me, and for some reason this one, even though the aesthetic is very Christmas, it doesn't resonate with me. Okay, so speaking about Christmas tarot, that this is an actual Christmas tarot, and I actually do love it, and it does feel Christmas, but I don't use it a lot, and in this case it's not because it doesn't resonate, but rather because it's an RWS deck. And I don't I don't use RWS anymore. I love like the RWS image, and I loved it. Like I loved the traditional RWS. Like I loved it. But then I started doing Marseille and I fell in love, and now I don't really resonate with RWS. I recently was with a friend and I gave her a reading, and she wanted a reading with like a like a spread, like a traditional 3 card spread. I think we did energy obstacle advice, right? And for that you have to use RWS. I mean, some people use Marseille, but you know, I don't read Marseille with individual card meanings. So Marseille doesn't work for me in those types of spreads, which is why I don't use a lot of those types of spreads. But it was actually super cool because I used the Dreaming Way. Anyway, I actually do love those spreads, but I never use them because they don't go with Marseille, and I don't use RWS anymore. But when I did that reading with my friend, oh no, I hate when this happens. Oh no, did you hear that? Everything fell to the floor. Oh, well, I'm going to leave it in the floor until I end the video, you know. These are the backs of the deck. And that was my cue to end. But I just wanted to finish that thought. So I loved that experience, and I was super grateful to my friend for asking for that reading, because it rekindled my, or rather, it made me see how I could use both Marseille and RWS, and I realized that I can use RWS for spreads and use Marseille for, like, you know, reading. And so this one, oh, okay, maybe I can try some Christmas spreads with this deck, because I had thought about giving it away, but I never wanted to, because it's Christmas, you know. Oh, and it's the Pixie's Whisper Tarot Christmas. Okay, let's do some Marseille style or historical peeps. Okay, so I feel like in terms of historical decks, the Christmas deck, the ultimate Christmassy historical deck, is the Visconti Sforza. Like, just straight up, there is not another that is better for Christmas. And specifically, I have a lot of Visconti Sforza decks. Specifically, this one is my most Christmas Visconti Sforza. These are the backs. This is the Mary Packard. I mean, look at the backs. If that's not Christmas, I don't know what is. And you have the old-timey medieval. But look at the peeps. The peeps are what makes this Christmas to me. Also the medieval. I feel like medieval, Renaissance, old-timey, goldy, that this type of thing is very Christmas to me, and it's very cozy to me. But like, look at the peeps, you know. I've paired this with the I'm not going to talk about pairings. I'm sorry. I don't want it. I'm taking too long. But so this is my ultimate historical Christmas deck. And of course, I also have the mini version of that deck, which is an Italian publisher, and it literally is just a mini version of the Mary Packard Visconti Sforza. So like the same borders and the same backs. And I think this is going to be my deck that I carry in my bag for the season. I usually carry the mini Mama Miyuki, which I've shown in every video and I talk about in every video, but I feel like it might be fun to switch it out for the season for this one. I really want to edge this one in gold because I don't know, it would make it so pretty. And then another one that I realized feels very Christmassy or could be Christmassy is the mini by Scarabeo because of the white borders. It's like another look, another aesthetic, but same like with this. And there is something about how this restoration is done that is more cutesy, like the people are more cute and the coins, I don't know why, but there is something about them that makes them look like cookies to me. Let me see if I can find a quote of the coins because they are just so cute. The queen, I mean, she is cute, but she's not as cute as like I think the Knight of Coins is the cutest card in this deck. Yeah, I don't know. These are the backs. And yeah, I feel like this one could pair with like the more white, snowy type of, I mean, not snowy, or maybe snowy if you have snowy decks. This could pair with snowy decks. But I was thinking of like white border, white oracles that feel Christmas because of the white. I feel like if you have red, gold, and green, that feels Christmas, but then white also feels Christmas. And of course that's because of movies, you know, because White Christmas. We don't have White Christmas here. And then another Visconti, there is not the Visconti Sforza. This one is known as Visconti di Moodrone. I've used this one in my channel for readings. I did a reading before my surgery. And this one, I feel like the imagery, it's just that I feel like this, because Renaissance art and you know, older art, it was very religious. There was a lot of religious motif in art. Then this style of art always has this religious vibe to it. It's like an old church, you know. And with the gold, usually I don't like this deck. I don't like that it's so blingy. There is literally like all foil. But for Christmas it works perfect. And yeah, I'm excited about this one because I had never used it for Christmas because I usually don't use it because of a lot of things. But since I took out all the pips and I just left the chords and the majors, it's easier to use, and that's why I did my double layered archetype reading in which I used majors and chords for the 2 layers. There is a video about that if you want to see it. So I don't know, it could be a pretty Christmas deck. And this is the Visconti di Moodrone by Scarabeo, I think. It's a bit pricey because of even though it's mass market, it's a bit pricey because of the bling. And then I'll just get the historicals out of the way. So let's continue. So another one that I received recently is this one. This is I mean I have a million Milanese tarots, you know, the Soprafinos, the La Rocas, that style. I have so many of them. I should do a collection one day, but this one specifically, oh, and I think also the Ancient Italian Tarot. I didn't bring that one. I should have brought that one, but I feel like the Ancient Italian Tarot from Scarabeo, which is mass market, and I've used it for my Marseille series. I feel like that one could be a good Christmas Milanese style deck. But look, this one, I mean, the colors, the baroqueness, the kitschness of the packaging alone, just like I don't know, it's very over the top, which makes it for some reason feel festive. And yeah. This is the Tarot Milanese 1810 by Tarot Revive or Revive, I don't know. He's a Chinese restorer and he sells his decks online, and the shipping is insanely cheap. I don't know how he does it. Literally, the shipping was $8 from China. Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, these are the bags. And this one is still in order because I've been waiting for Christmas to use this deck. And again, I feel like the colors, the richness, the it's very luxe, these types of decks, but specifically this one with the hot pinks and greens and the white background. So that's the thing. It's the combination. Also, these decks have the Santa Pope. I've always felt like this Pope looks like Santa. So like, you know, but see, a lot of these decks, they have like the vintagey background, or like, I have the mini by Scarabeo, which I adore, and that one has white borders but cream backgrounds, which is just lovely. But for Christmas, I feel like this version works really well because it has the white background. This deck is so beautiful. If you like historical decks, definitely go check out his page, because he has two Milanese decks. He has like the typical Grimaud type deck. He has the Vandenborg deck. He has the French Minchiate, the one that I've shown, I forgot the name, but the French Minchiate, he has a restoration of that one. Oh my god, he has so many amazing decks, and they are so inexpensive, and the shipping again is so inexpensive. So definitely check his page out if you like historical decks. So actually, I discovered his restoration of the French Minchiate last year, and I was looking for it everywhere. But for some reason, I feel like his website wasn't working, and the only shop I found it was a Chinese shop that had super expensive shipping. And I was going to splurge, guys, but they were sold out. So I couldn't. Look at this one. Doesn't it feel just Christmas? This one is like candy Christmas. Yeah, but they were sold out, so they saved me from splurging. And I ended up getting the card, whatever, I don't remember the name, but wherever I got it, the French Minchiate, I ended up getting that one. And then recently, he started posting on Instagram, and I was like, oh my god, he's the one that I wanted to buy the French Minchiate from. So I was like, oh, am I going to buy another French Minchiate? So I went to his website, and I saw this one. And I was like, okay, never mind. This is the one for me. And then Amparo from the Colorful Minchiate. Oh my god, why am I forgetting all the names? Well, Amparo from the Colorful Minchiate, she then posted on Instagram, and I was like, oh my god, I just ordered his Milanese, because she ordered the Minchiate. I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited to get mine. So I'm very excited about this one. And the final historical would be the Gassman Tarot, which I feel like I've also never used this one. And I don't know, it's just, I have too many decks, guys. I have too many decks. But this one just because of the colors. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Guys, I look at this. Oh my god. I always see his decks and I think, look at the cups. Oh yeah, so this one is Christmas because of the colors, but then also because the pips are very ornate and very lush. Not as lush as the copper engraving ones, obviously, but you know, the yeah, very ornate like look. And let me look for some ones. I mean, look at the swords and look at the ones. It's very ornate. Yeah, so that's why I recently went to Mexico City for a trip. I want to film a book and deck haul for that. But guys, yeah, I've been struggling with filming. So anyway, I went to a tarot shop in Mexico City that has. It was so surprising to me. I was just perusing and suddenly I turned around and they had a case full of out of print decks that they were selling. Oh my god, like I'm going to tell you all about it when I do my deck haul. I didn't buy any because they were so expensive, but they had, like, you wouldn't believe. Like, I turn around and literally all these decks that everyone is always looking for, they're all just there in a case. I was like, oh my god. Anyway, they had a lot of Yves Renaud and I considered getting one. I was actually going to, but I got confused because I saw it from afar and I thought it was the Francois Henri, which is the one that I want. But it wasn't. It was another one, so I didn't get it. Let's do another oracle. Why not? This is the Endless Oracle. I did show this one in my latest Christmas video, but I feel like that was in my other channel. And I've talked about this one. This one is very much Christmas to me. I almost always only use it in Christmas, and the reason why this is my medieval fantasy deck. I feel like there are many medieval fantasy decks and I don't know, I just, you know, I am 35, right? So like my cozy fantasy aesthetic is not the same that is currently being done. So like every time I see someone say, oh, this is so cozy, it's fantasy, it's not cozy to me, because to me cozy fantasy, like the cozy fantasy vibes are very much 90s, early 2000 tops, but like 90s fantasy illustration is where it's at for me. And even though, like, I wouldn't say this is 90s fantasy illustration, but they, like, the new style of illustration is not, it doesn't do it for me. Anyway, this one, I feel like the creator obviously is I feel like he's a nerd. I feel like the creator is a nerd, and you can tell, and I love it because like a fantasy nerd. And like the cards, the archetypes, the places, it's just very, very cozy fantasy. And because it's blue and it has like the night and the snow, it just, it feels very Christmas. And you have the forest, the trees, yeah. And this one is one of those where, because I'm also very much a fantasy lover, I don't actually need the book, even though the book is really great, but I can read without it because all of the places and the people mean something to me. Then let's go for another tarot, and I feel like I also showed this one in my previous Christmas decks video, but again, it was in my other channel and I feel like I took those down. So this one is the no, is it? Is this a wild unknown? No. What's this deck called? Wildwood. Oh my god. Wildwood. I almost never use this deck, but it's one of my favorites aesthetically. I think it's my favorite in terms of graphic design. Yeah, in terms of graphic design, except for the backs, which for some reason I just don't like. I feel like the fronts are super elegant, super clean, just like on point in terms of graphic design, and then the backs, they're not as clean. Like, if they had removed this and it was just the tree, they would look so elegant. But they didn't. So, but this one, for some reason, I feel like it's the white borders feels very Christmas. And this one, I'm going to show you next to an oracle that I think pairs really beautifully. Oh, look. Oh my gosh, have you read The Realm of the Elderlings? Every time I see a wolf, it makes me think of Night Eyes, and I just love it so much. So the oracle that I think pairs well with this is this one. I don't remember what it's called. I don't have it in the box. But it's something about plants. I feel like it's a very familiar one. And it's also it for some reason this one feels very Christmas to me, even though not all of the plants are Christmas. It does have holly somewhere there, but even though not all the plants are Christmas, just the way it's the white, the very light, and I actually really like this one because it has words. I'm not a plant person. I don't know plants. So the plants don't really mean anything to me. So I like that you have the plant in a small and that the big one is a word. But if you want to know about the plant, and it even has the scientific name. So I really love this one. And this one actually, now that I'm seeing it, I feel like it would pair nicely with the Milanese, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, so it's this oracle and this tarot. These are the backs. I feel like it's a well-known deck. Then let's do something different. Let's do playing cards and fortune-telling cards decks. I filmed a fortune-telling deck collection like a month ago, and I haven't been able to get around to editing it. But okay, so I have a playing card decks. I should also do I should do so many collection videos. I have too many decks. I chose this one because I feel like my medieval animal playing cards could also be Christmassy, and yeah, they're definitely good. I feel like I'm definitely going to use those during Christmas. I should have brought them, but I didn't because I've already shown them in my channel. I've shown them in multiple videos, and I have a reading with them. I did a reading for the Louvre heist with them. So if you're curious, they're there. And they are super Christmas, and they are my favorite playing cards that I own. But I brought this one because they are, again, like these ones I haven't shown, and the packaging is very luxe and gold, and it feels appropriate for Christmas. And the cards, they are watercolor, and they are very soft, and the images are Celtic inspired. So this one is inspired by books like the Book of Kells, for instance. This is Ian Comsty, by the way, a creator who is my favorite creator, my favorite tarot card creator, who sadly, because of the stupid tariff things, he's not, these are the backs, he's not selling anymore online. I feel like he's going on another route. He's selling physically. He canceled the Kickstarter that he was going to do. I'm super bummed about it. But yeah, there's something about this. Look, like this old timey Celtic what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it's not lush but ornate. Very ornate look. I don't know, it feels Christmas. And again, this has this Christian undertone that feels Christmas to me. Oh my god. Oh, and you know, soft, you know, the softness, the white color background. The medieval ones, they are also Christmassy because they feel old, because they are not white background, and this one feels Christmas because of the white background. And I mean for all of the other reasons that I mentioned. And then for fortune telling cards, I feel like most fortune telling cards feel more fall than Christmas. But I chose these, which are the Russian Gypsy fortune telling cards by Svetlana Alexandrovna Tochkov. This is the style where you have to like complete the images. But I mean, look at them. Like, look. Again, like the gold, the jewel tones, the ornateness. Like, she could totally, this artist, look, like, if you complete this image, oh, actually, and there are, see these, they have like the plants, the trees, the colors, the deep jewel, the golds. It doesn't it look like Christmas? It does. It does. And these are the backs. I've been loving watching videos of people reading with these cards. And then speaking about cozy fantasy illustration, old school type of illustration. So this is not, this is a dragon deck that for some reason, just like cozy fantasy, feels Christmassy. The deck in itself is not necessarily Christmassy, but the theme, the topic, to me, it feels cozy and Christmas. And it's the Dragon Tarot, which I feel like is still in order because it's a recent purchase. It's a peep deck. I love this style of illustration, and actually this one is what bums me out about this deck. I mean, I love it, but it's just that the illustrators or illustrator clearly are, I feel like they are actually like famous fantasy illustrators, and they do have an old school style, and so like that makes me excited. But I feel like the style they went for with the dragons and the courts and the people, it feels more like sci-fi than fantasy. I wish, like, look, I wish they would have done like more medieval fantasy, but this to me feels more like sci-fi with dragons. Like old school sci-fi. Which bums me out because I'm like, oh no, like I would have loved just like a traditional medieval fantasy. But I still love this deck, and cozy medieval fantasy feels cozy and Christmassy. And then to end, finally, oh wait, no, I have two more. Okay, I forgot I brought this. So So this is another one from my Catholic deck collection, but I'm going to show it anyway because it is very Christmassy. So this is a French oracle of saints, and this one I feel like uses or is based on some like an older classical artist paintings for the saints, and so it has this very ornate quality and these like golden, see, they all the halos are foiled and they have other foil details, and the border is also foiled. I don't know if you can see it, but it's all foiled. I hope you can see it. See here, like the halo, the cross, the border. So you have the saints, and you have the saint and the date, and then in the back you have a prayer for that saint. So this one again, I feel like it's very, very Christmas because of the Catholic topic, and because of the style of imagery, and because of the gold. So now we've reached the end. This is the final one, and this is like a last minute choice. Literally, like I was about to film, and I glanced at my card where I have oracles and stuff, and I thought, oh, this one might work. And this one is an art oracle, but it's all full of classical art. So it has the painting and the title of the painting and a quote and the artist. I wish that they had done the title and the artist and then the quote at the bottom, so that I could chop the quotes off and I could just have the title and painting. So not all of the paintings are Christmassy, but I feel like here, see, like Picasso, it's not very Christmassy, right? But like the more classical ones do feel Christmassy, and the colors of the borders, because they are more like darker jewel tones, I feel like could go. And just in general, I feel like art decks are also very appropriate for Christmas. I'm making a mess as usual, but I'm trying to look for, so there are some that have like these burnt red borders, which feels Christmas. And I don't know, I think this might pair with something like the Golden Tarot of the Tsar, or like with more classical decks. And these are the backs. And this one I bought on Etsy, and it's sold in different shops. I feel like the creator put up for the file for sale, and that you could actually sell it, and that's why you can find it in several shops, because the title card of this oracle, which I didn't come across, but it has the name of the creator. But if you go into the Etsy of the creator, she doesn't have this listed. So I feel like maybe she had it at some point and then she removed it. I am trying to make like a thumbnail, but it's funny because I never use them. I always end up using just like a screenshot from my video. So I'll see if I use this or not. Anyway, so that would be it. Thank you so much for watching. This was longer than I wanted it to be. I hope I have time to upload it for tomorrow, because I wanted to upload it on December 1st. But yeah, so hopefully I'll be making more videos, but the holiday season, you never know. And yeah, Thank you so much for watching. As always, my name is Mariana. This is happening by chance. I will see you soon in another video, or soon-ish in another video. And in the meantime, I wish you happy reading, whether that be card reading, book reading, weather patterns, charms, dice, pendulum, whatever form of reading you prefer.